Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to talk about what to do when we experience difficult situations. So none of us avoid them. They happen to all of us, sometimes daily. And how can we use our practice to help us navigate them with a little bit of peace, so holding on to that peace within ourselves, but then also in a way that allows us to remain authentic and calm and grounded out in the external world as well. And I heard this quote in a TV show, so it is not mine, but I loved it. And it was this guy's father who always told him, you can either treat the darkness in your life as a burial or a planting. And this is kind of the choice that mindfulness gives us, is when these difficult situations happen, if we're not consciously aware and present with them, they rule over us, right? We feel like the victim of them. They happened to us. We have no choice in what's going on here. We just react. In mindful awareness, we see that we actually always have a choice in how we relate to the situation and how we internalize it and how we process it and how we show up for it. So our experience of it is all our own making, right? We couldn't control that it happened, but how we are present for it and who we are being within it is our choice. So when we see that we have that choice, then we can go back to that quote and say, all right, darkness has appeared in my life, something difficult. And you could say, this could be something really huge in your life, which that would be a little more challenging. Your practice would have to be stronger. Or you could relate it to the little challenges that we all face in the day, of things not going quite our way, something not being open when we thought it would, our car breaking down, whatever it is. And so here's this darkness, right? No matter how big or small, the darkness arrives. And now we choose with our mindful awareness. Do I want to make this darkness a burial? In which case, I'm lost within it, I'm suffocating, it covered me over, it's hiding my true self, I have been buried. Or do we want to treat it as a planting? Which means, yes, there's this dark moment, but now I'm connected down in the depths. I'm around all these nutrients and possibilities. And this thing that I've been presented with can plant this seed. So whatever that seed may be, I can use this seed to grow what I want in this situation. So I'm down here, I'm in the dark. All right, great. Let's use it as an opportunity to learn what we need to plant and what we need to do in order to help this new plant to germinate and grow and thrive. And so this is also thinking about it. We're using this opportunity as a growth opportunity. We're growing something from this darkness that we have been dealt or that we have encountered in our lives. And so now you're down here and you're with this seed, right? And here we use our awareness to kind of notice in that moment, what was really hard about that for me? What weakness did it touch, or vulnerability, or what kind of internal trigger did it point to? And that's a learning opportunity to say, based on that kind of vulnerability, weakness, things that trigger me away from being my authentic self, what do I learn that needs to be planted within me and nurtured within me so that I can rise above this, so that I can grow up through this? So the darkness actually becomes this educational fuel for what seed needs to be planted within you to empower you even more, that next time, or as other darkness arises, you have these new skills and tools and ways of relating to it that you can more easily stay true to yourself in that situation. And so that gave us the indication of what needs to be planted. And in this way, we almost see the challenges of life as opportunities, right? Because they point to the things that we need to plant. They point to the flowers in our garden that maybe aren't so strong or aren't present, and let us know, okay, this is a flower that we now need to be growing and nurturing. So within that darkness, what did you need to plant in order to start growing into this more whole, more authentic version of you? And in that, I can say that they also point to things that maybe in our garden we would want to trim down. Sometimes they point to the weeds. And within that, now I'm on the gardening theme, we think, okay, it's pointing to things that were harmful for me within this, or the weeds in my garden that are still present that allowed me to be so triggered in this moment. But then they also give you this opportunity to kind of turn that soil. So now you're kind of down in the darkness, which oftentimes by choice, we don't want to go down there. We'd like to stay up in the light. But down in that dark and in the soil, that's where so much of the growth potential lies, and it's where the food for the growth lies. And food for growth actually is the difficulty and the struggle and the emotions that need to be churned and oxygenated and transformed into the nutrients for this seed that we have planted. So this darkness that we face, the difficulty in our lives, it's the great opportunity to grow, which Thich Nhat Hanh always said, I would never wish on any of my children or disciples to live in a world without suffering, because suffering is the mud that grows the beauty of the lotus. And so for you, in your life, those moments of darkness, look for the seed and think of it like a time to go into the depths, right? Because without it, like I said, we don't like to choose to stick our head down in the dirt. And so let that moment of difficulty be your motivation to get down into the dirt and to till it. Work it, turn it over. Look at what's causing the suffering. Look at what triggered you. Look at the hard emotions. Give them some freaking oxygen, because otherwise I know you wouldn't touch them. So let them breathe. Let them be there. And use that to turn this soil into a very nutritious setting to grow this seed that you're going to plant. And use that darkness again to teach you what seed do you need to plant, and what flower do you want that to turn into, and what do you need to do in order to nurture that flower. So it's your choice of how you're going to use the difficulty in your life, and I really hope that all of you use it as a moment to learn more about yourself and more about what seeds you want to plant in your garden. If you want some intentional time to cultivate your garden with others at the start of the new year, please join us in the intention setting meditation morning. So 4 hours, which I know sometimes it seems like a lot, but really it's a great opportunity. The longer you practice, sometimes the deeper the things you find within that. So come spend 4 hours in intentional meditation. learn about what garden you want to cultivate this upcoming year, or just in a day, or whatever. And that's coming up on February 3rd. And if you would like to join us for that session or any other class or individual coaching, find us at newleafmindfulness.com. And you can find these teachings and many more in my book, Living from the Heart, Healing Ourselves So We Can Heal the World, available anywhere you purchase your audio or print books. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.